Hello, I'm Adam and this is my vlog. On the first day of this week I applied for a couple of jobs online. I haven't heard back from them yet, but the application is part of my work in trying to survive in this land. On the next day, I was summoned for jury duty. I found out later on that I was not needed, but I showed up anyway. Which was kind of fun because I didn't know the area I was driving into. It's a totally different area than where I'm at. Buildings are so much higher. But it was fun to find out that nowhere could I park that was free. Everything had a price. And I'd only be allowed $12 to pay for all that. On the next day, I got to drive a lot of cars. A lot of cars. It was the longest I've ever driven inside, or most cars I've driven for a while. It was a big show where specialty cars were shown. I got to cook this week a nice pasta. It tasted really good. I got to make cookies this week as well. And ate them all the next day. But that's pretty much all I had to. I need to cook more food than I have. I also went to a class this week. It was a class that I chose by random. I flipped a coin and out of the 4, it landed on 1. It was a nice thing to see because somebody I've been continually bumping into for some reason or another. I just, by random, I'm bumping into him in places where I not usually go, which has been kind of fun. I like this individual, but unfortunately, due to my circumstances, I cannot pursue her. And that is life. On the last day of the week, I managed to finish a project that I've been working on for the last month. It is good, and I have learned how to use video annotation, so as of this video, after it gets loaded, I should be able to link all the previous days back there and all of the new days over on this side. In looking at my life, I'm finding it's a wreck. It stinks in many ways that it's a wreck, but it's not dead. So I get to survive. In many ways, as I found this week, a dragon that I needed to slay. I think it's dead. It's definitely wounded and gone. I'm not sure if it's dead. Something I gotta hunt down and kill. And make sure that it does not have any eggs elsewhere. It'd be kind of annoying to have to fight these things over again. But I did not wait for it to grow or to heal. I'm taking every precaution to kill it as fast as possible. Once it's dead, I'll be so relieved. I won't have to worry about it or fear it anymore. Well, I should watch out for others. One of the major things I've been doing this week was arguing over quantum mechanics. Mostly over the state of quantum entanglement. Now, inside or on YouTube, I got to argue with this other person about why quantum entanglement can be used to transfer information from point A to point B, using one particle that's tied to the other particle. Now, the reason they give that you cannot do this is because both particles are actually the same particle. It's a thing known as superposition, where particles inside two places at the same time. In reality, a superposition talks about where something could be anywhere, at any time, or at the exact same time, or two different places at the exact same time. It's kind of a interesting concept to think about. Puts another spin on omnipresence in some ways, but it's not really something to be too concerned about. With this particle, as I've looked at quantum mechanics in the past and how quantum entanglement has been used, and I'm not saying this is fictional, I'm saying this has been used for teleportation. That's basic, sending not just information but matter itself from point A to point B. Some say it's a type of beaming thing, but I didn't get to read all the articles. But from what I remember growing up, first successful teleportation that I heard about was lab rats. Living, breathing lab rats teleported from point A to point B using quantum entanglement. Second article that I ran across, actually my friend had the newspaper clipping. I was talking about an apple that was able to be transported from point A to point B, and that was successful. Third, I heard about what's called molecules, and fourth is now a shadow of an atom, which makes me think that there is something going on in the scientific community that people are not sharing. It is almost as though there is knowledge being suppressed, at which point this video will become erased on YouTube, which would be weird. And if it does, then there's a weird conspiracy going on trying to hide information as best as possible. On the other channel, which I've been going over this, I have not told anyone about this. I almost put it on once, but as I did not grab any of the clippings, I do not have physical evidence to confirm what I have seen, read, and heard. The only thing I can do is go into this field and actually do the experience myself to the point where I transport a human. Now, I have heard from some conspiracy theorists that human transportation have already been done. It causes people to get sick to their stomach because they're being pulled from point A to point B. But they can feel the pull, and that's how you know that they're actually being transported rather than just being copied and the other thing destroyed. That's a nice little thing to notice. I'm finding that the reason why it works is because of superposition, where a particle exists at both places at the same time, except because the way matter works and light works. As some would say, the Higgs boson. It transfers from point A to point B instantaneously by pretty much just swiping it across as fast as possible. All it does is just transfer energy from point A to point B using superposition. And it's not really that hard of a concept to grasp. All you're doing is taking an existing concept, pushing to a different point, and that's it. I mean, I've had thoughts of how to colonize planets using this process just to get there. The problem is getting the other particle there to begin with. So that goes along with farther back information, which I do not have at this time. Oh, I also went to a bonfire. I'll see if I can get some of the video up at this time. So I let you watch all the burning bushes and trees. This is what you do with Christmas trees after everything's been, or after Christmas is over. Wow. So thank you for this time. Good night.